Hi and welcome to the Incite My Life channel. Today we're going to be talking about solving word problems. Dun dun dun. So anyway, before we begin, we need to know a few key things, which are the key words involved in using word problems. And so they come in 5 categories. So you can see we have addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and the equal sign. So get familiar with these words on this page, maybe take a screenshot, use the snipping tool, just plain old write it down. Just get familiar with these words because they are going to come up often. So the types of mathematical modeling, or basically word problems that we're going to find in these questions, are direct translation, geometry, mixtures, uniform motion, work problems, and finance problems. And you can see I have examples of each. So in this video, we are going to be dealing with the first 3, direct translation, geometry, and mixtures. So let's start out with direct translation. So a very common problem in direct translation problems would typically be seen like this. The sum of twice a number and 45 is 135. What is the number? So the sum, right, means addition, of means multiplication, twice a number, and 45 is 135. So this problem is saying 2 times a specific number, which we don't know, plus 45 is 135 if we break up all the words. So that means that our number, we're going to call it x. So 2x plus 45 is equal to 135, as you can see right there. And then from there, we're going to subtract 45. And then we get 2x equals 90, which we just have to divide by 2 to get x equals 45. Now let's look at another example of a direct translation problem. And this one is pretty common. It's involving consecutive integers. The sum of 3 consecutive integers is 165. Find the numbers. So the sum of 3 consecutive integers, well, what's a consecutive integer? Well, basically it's just a number. It's just counting numbers, essentially. You would think of it as like if you start at 1, then 1, and the next one would be 2, and then 3. So your 3 consecutive integers would be 1, 2, and 3. So we can put this as an equation by saying, well, let's let the first number be x, and then the next number be x plus 1, and then the last number be x plus 2, and those would be 3 consecutive integers. Now all of those, the sum of those, is supposed to equal 165. So then from here we're going to simplify it by taking out the parentheses, and then we're going to combine like terms, and then take away 3, and then divide by 3 to get x is equal to 54. So that means that the other 2 numbers then are 55 and 56, since they're consecutive. Now, with geometry word problems, this is a pretty frequent problem involving a field. So it says a rectangular field is divided into 2 squares of the same size and shape. If it takes 294 yards of fencing to enclose the field and divide the field into the 2 parcels, find the dimensions of the field. So here's the figure. So the first thing we need to know is that it's a rectangular field that's divided into 2 squares. So a square, right, has all of the side lengths that are the same. So 2 squares back to back means that they share that same side, and every other side around it is of equal length. So what we're going to do then is on this figure, we're going to mark all the sides as x, since every side is equal. Now remember, we're dealing with perimeter. And we know that because it's 294 yards of fencing to enclose the field. Enclosing, that word usually means perimeter. It's the area around the figure. So that means that our 7 sides are going to add up to 294. So we divide by 7 to get one side is 42. Now remember, that's not the end of the problem. The problem wants you to find the dimensions of the field. So that's length times width. So therefore the length is the long side, which is x plus x, so you add it up and get 84, and the width is a single x, which is 42. Now, the other type of problems that we have are mixture problems, and these come up pretty frequently in college algebra books and classes, and they usually involve percentages like this. So it says Cindy is the owner of a brand new candy store. She has a candy that is 20% chocolate and is going to combine it with another candy that is 40% chocolate. How many pounds of the candy that is 40% chocolate should be used to get a candy that is 25% chocolate? So the thing that I find to be really helpful when you do this is to just draw out some figures. So she has a 20% chocolate mix, a 40% chocolate mix, and she's trying to get 25% chocolate mix. So that's 3 figures. And we don't know the pounds of the 20% mix or of the 40% mix. So we're just going to say that x plus y is 20, okay? Now the other thing we want to mark is the percentages. So 20% represents the x pounds, 40% the y pounds, and the combined mixture is 25%. So the way this problem works, or the flow of this, is that when you go from left to right, you're going to add. So x plus y equals 20. And then if we go from top to bottom involving the percentages, that's 20% times x plus 40% times y equals 25% times 20. So let me show you on another slide exactly what that comes out to be. So make sure you remember what this looks like, okay? So on the next slide, we're going to show you that the equation for weight was x plus y is equal to 20. So that was when we go from left to right. And then when we go from top to bottom, then our equation for percentage is 0.20x plus 0.40y equals 0.25 times 20. Now remember, it's 0.20 and 0.40 because it's percentage. You don't ever want to just put 20 or just 40 because that's not actually what the percentage is. A percentage is a decimal. So anyway, there are many options for solving a system like this, but in this case I'm going to be using substitution. So using substitution, we start out by rearranging the equation for weight in terms of y. So we take x and subtract it to the other side. And then what we're going to do is take that equation and put it into the equation for percentage. So now if you look closely in the equation for percentage, instead of y, now we have 20 minus x because that's what we've rearranged. And then we're going to distribute. So 0.40 times 20 is 8, and then 0.40 times x is 0.40x. And then we're going to combine our like terms, and then make sure that you subtract the 8 to the other side. And now divide by 0.20 to get x by itself, and hence you get 15 pounds. Now remember though to go and get the other variable as well. So take that, plug it into the equation for weight, and then you should get 5 pounds for y. Alright, and that concludes part 1 of our word problem series. So remember, 3 steps. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment about what you'd like to see next, and have a great day.